Welcome. In this demo, I'm going to show you how you can use the developers tools in your browser to modify your HTML elements and their attribute values, as well as your CSS properties and their values to make modifications to your web page, immediately see their in effect on the page, and when you become happy with the values you have experimented with and you have reached the results you want, you can take those values to your code, save them, and have the page render the same way every time. So if you recall from the previous lesson that the way to bring up the developers tools in your browser is to either press F12 in your keyboard or use the mouse to inspect any of the elements or the sections on your web page. So I'm gonna go with that approach here and right click anywhere on my page and choose inspect element, which is gonna bring up the developers tools for me. I'm using Microsoft Edge as my browser today in this demo. And as you can see that I did a right click on this list item here, so it brought up the developers tools for me, and it was highlighted on this particular element I chose to inspect. So for this demo, I'm thinking like maybe I will change this image here to show you how you can modify your values in your tags and see them right away on the web page. So I'm going to go to my image here, and I'm thinking to use another image other than this one. So to do a modification on the HTML tag, you just go to the tag you would like to change, double click on it so it brings you up in an edit mode, and then you can, I know that I have another image in this path, it just has another file name, so I'm going to remove this file name here and use the other image. I know I have it there. So I do my modifications and then press enter, and I should see the changes right away on the web page. So I see this seagull bird here, but it doesn't really work well for the context of my page, so I'm going to put it back to the right image here. And this is how you can modify your HTML elements. One more thing you can modify in the developers tools is the styles, the CSS styles. And there is a pane for that here in the developers tools. So on the right here, this is the pane for your CSS values. So I'm here on this image tag, it's highlighted, so that means it is selected. So I can change the width. So as you see here, it's set to 400 pixels. I can change this value again by right clicking on it. And let's say I'm gonna do 1000. You see the value, you see how changing the value changes the width of the image on the page right away, and you get to see your modifications right away. So this is a nice tool to try different values. If you're not happy with how your page is rendered, you can try different values here in the developers tools, and once you're settled and happy with the results, you can copy those values to your code. So I'm going to put this back to 400. There is also an option here to uncheck a style so that it deletes or it takes it away from the effect, so it's basically ineffective here. I'm gonna put it back. There's also a way to try new stuff, so let's try new styles. So let's say, for example, I want to make a background, I want to make a highlight on this module because it's really important. So I'm gonna go to it and I'm gonna do an select element. So I'm gonna select this element, brings me up to where it is in the code. I'm gonna try a background style on it and see how it looks like. And you see in Microsoft Edge developers tools, there is an IntelliSense here that really comes handy and helpful so that you don't need to memorize every single CSS property or style. So I'm gonna use a background of yellow, maybe light yellow is better. So you see your styles, the styles get get rendered on the page right away, and this is really cool. I think I also wanna like apply a font color here, so I'm gonna change the color of this one to, how about red or orange red? I like this one. So you see how it's like your values get rendered on the page right away. Also, you can like remove one of the properties or keep them, or remove them both. And as you see here on this pane here, as you put a style into effect, it gets added to the tag. So this is another way to tell you if you want to keep this style, you should change your HTML code to add this style attribute to your tag. That's it for this demo, and I will see you in the next one.